My name is Jomar.
My name is Migs.
And you're watching
Geeks Outta Nowhere!
Okay, hello guys and welcome again to another episode of Geeks Outta Nowhere. So, yun, dito, tagal na rin since nung natin, a month ago, more than a month ago yung latest episode natin, yung Halloween episode. So, how are you, Migs?
So, ganun lang kabilis lumipas yung mga araw ngayon. So, we're approaching the Christmas season. So, everybody's busy, I think. So, yun nga din.
Busy na.
Kaya medyo tahimik ang lahat. Medyo tahimik ang channel kasi yun. We're kind of busy sa aming mga personal lives. So, as an adult, yun, mahirap na siyang i-juggle sa ngayon, lalo na we're entering dito sa age natin na consider nila ito yung peak ng ating mga careers. So, I think yun yung nagiging isang reason bakit nagiging busy ang mga tao ngayon, myself included.
And of course, dito, syempre, pero sa in between ng mga pagiging busy natin, di rin naman natin syempre pwedeng kalimutan yung mga hobbies natin. Syempre, we live because we have hobbies, kumbaga. Kasi syempre dito, hindi lang naman puro tayo trabaho or kung ano man, we have to spend some time to unwind, diba? Spend time with our family, our friends, diba? Kasi dito mahalaga na na-expose tayo sa ibang bagay, hindi lang sa work. And yun nga, hopefully di pa rin tayo nakakalimutan ng mga fellow geeks natin na sumusubaybay sa ating channel. Sorry if matagal na wala alang activities or uploads. Yun, medyo busy lang. And of course, I just want to share din na I dedicate rin yung episode na to for my late auntie na she just passed away last week, no? So yun, we want to dedicate this episode for her, and yeah, we pray for her soul to rest in peace, and yeah, we will always remember her. So ayan, nakakalungkot na biglaan lang, pero yeah, that's life. And yeah, we just hope for the best, and hindi naman tayo yun nagmo-move on, and we just carry on the memories of our dearly departed, and then continue living with those memories.
Sabi nga nila, you can't move on with death. Kailangan lang is you have to carry on, and nothing is ever lost. Yung memories with your loved one, andyan yan forever hanggat nandito kayo sa earth. Hindi mo siya makikita physically, pero lagi naman siyang present sa memory mo and sa heart mo.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Thank you, Migs, for your insights din. Nakaka-relieve ko kumbaga ng grief. And speaking of other deaths, no, and endings, biglang segue agad sa topic natin, no. Meron tayong guest na parating later on, pero before that, we gusto ko lang muna pahapyawan yung topic na to with regards sa ending ng Attack on Titan. Kasi ako kating-kati na akong pag-usapan. Kasi napanood ko na siya, and I think, Migs, hindi mo pa siya napapanood, pero you know the ending.
Binasa ko yung ending sa manga.
You know the ending of the manga. And all I can say is that it's almost the same. May mga binago lang sila ng konti from the manga. Kasi there are some controversial things that Isayama Sensei put in the manga na somehow controversial. So they have to change it in the anime. Pero yun lang naman, konting lines lang naman, pero the ending is still the same. Yun lang ang masasabi ko. So what can you say so yeah, since it's almost the same, what can you say pala, Mix, on the ending of Attack on Titan.
Sa akin,
In a manga sense
sa
din.
manga, no, in the manga sense, as ano rin, well executed siya.
Mm.
And I know, ako, as a fan of comics and manga, as much as possible, lalo sa manga, sa comics kasi, gano'n na talaga mahaba na, like for example, for Spider-Man, sobrang, alam mo yung napapagod ako pag sobrang haba na ng manga, yung parang ilang years na tumarang. Pero sa Attack on Titan, hindi siya nakadepress siya, pero yung run niya, it was very well told, very well executed, and deserve niya yung hindi siya ganun kahaba. I think 31, 32 volumes lang siya.
Mga 130 plus chapters lang siya.
So, hindi na siya hindi, kumbaga wala na masyadong segue. Although maraming twists and turns yung anime and manga, pero alam mo yun, hindi na may mga nag-spout na side story or panibagong issue. It was well executed. Same with sa ending din. Medyo nakakaramdam na nga ako ng let's say, yung kung ano man yung nangyari sa ending, parang nafu-foresee ko na din siya, pero ayun, pa rin, na-shock pa rin ako nung binasa ko yung ending.
And dito, actually, di ba, the ending nung nagtapos yung ending, nung Attack on Titan sa manga, di ba, ang daming na-disappoint dahil ganun yung ending. Other people have this so-called parang ine-expect na ending, pero sabihin na lang natin na hindi yun yung ending na na-envision ni Hajime Isayama sensei. That's why a lot of people were disappointed with the ending. And for me, personally, hindi siya ganun I'm not disappointed about the ending. In fact, it was somehow realistic kasi yun yung talagang parang the most probable outcome na magtatapo yung ganong ending yung mangyayari. Kasi it's not in the character of Attack on Titan na medyo maging masaya. Parang masaya, di ba? It's parang there's a lesson that we need to learn from that story. And hindi yun hindi siya the story wants us to be uncomfortable and disappointed with it because it reflects somehow our human nature, kumbaga. Diba?
Ganun naman in real world. Hindi not everyone is entitled na magkaroon ng ending na kagaya kay Yusuke Oromeshi.
Yun pa.
Or let's say sabihin natin ending ni kagaya kay Goku. So, kasi mga ibang fans ganun lagi yung ganun lagi ni-expect Porket may protagonist na ganito, ang expected niya is yung typical na ending for a protagonist sa anime, pero hindi ganoon lahat Feeling ko kung meron ngang social media back then, baka ang dami rin na disappoint sa ending ng Slam Dunk
Oo. Totoo. Pero kasi sabihin natin, people are thinking of happy endings because that's the parang hindi siya norm, kumbaga, pero parang that's the ideal trajectory ng isang story, and that's the story that you want to happen to your life din sa sarili mo din, 'di ba? A happy ending, kumbaga.
Tsaka somewhat somewhat maayos naman yung ending kasi wala na yung mga Titans. And ayun nga, sa akin kasi it's not about happy or sad yung ending. It's the way it was executed. Lagi ganun ang iniisip ko sa mga binabasa ko, sa pinapanood ko. As long as maganda yung pagka-execute, as long as maganda yung story, hindi ko okay lang sa akin whatever kung ano man yung ending niya, kung happy ending ba siya, open-ended or sad.
Yun. So, pero yun lang talaga. What I can say about the ending of Attack on Titan is that it parang it boils with the our innate nature to destroy ourselves, di ba? So it's a grim it serves as a grim reminder that we have the capacity to to destroy, kumbaga, what we created, and then syempre yung mga yung the outcomes of the consequences of our actions, kumbaga, 'di ba? And how much what do we need to pay for in order to achieve yung mga goals natin. Parang yung si Eren nga, 'di ba? Yun, pero yun, isa pang reminder that we don't need to be that kind of a guy like Eren na talaga he would destroy the world just to protect his friends, 'di ba?
Saka yun nga, human nature itself. Like for example, ayan nakitang-kita mo na may mga Titan na sila na yung kumakain sa mga tao, but they still choose to be masama or salbahe. So, meron pa ring divide eh. So yung let's say yung pagkakaisa or yung unity ng tao, kahit meron ng common enemy na kitang-kita mo na papatay na kayo or ma-annihilate na kayo, all boils down pa din sa greed or sa mga hidden agenda nila.
So yeah. And ayan na. So we discussed about the ending of Attack on Titan. Let's have you may tatanong lang ako sa iyo. Nakita mo na siguro yung itong yung trailer nung live action ng Yu Yu Hakusho.
Ayan, mukhang maganda. So,
maganda.
Yung potential niya malaki. So, sana wag mag-disappoint and sana December na.
Yeah, yun lang yung sabi ko dito. Oh yeah, it will be shown on Netflix by December 14, so you should watch it. Kung you're an avid fan of Yu Yu Hakusho or Ghost Fighter sa in Tagalog dub, 'di ba? Pero what I can say is that talagang mukhang nag-cosplay talaga, mukhang kin-cosplay lang talaga dun si Kurama.
Si Kurama ako si Vincent, si Vincent, si Hiei.
Oo.
Para siyang hindi mo yung parang rapper na ewan dahil dun sa
may bandana, may
bandana
sa ulo. And then dito yung ang nakakagulat doon is yung casting kay Toguro. Which is tama ba si Go Ayano? Go Ayano is the dito yung gumanap na Big Toguro. Search natin.
Kasi kung wala pang trailer yan, hindi ko ine-expect na lalabas agad sila Toguro eh. Pero ayan, mga inuna nila. Pero okay lang din naman.
Kaya nga eh. So, for me, lang, sino nga siya? Check nga natin kung sino yung artist na yun. Well, teka lang, di ko mahanap eh.
Wala nga yung wala yung artist. Hindi ko pa na.
Ayun. So, sorry, mali yung information ko. According to this article, no, sa binabasa ko sa Rappler, no, it's dito. Tama. Go Ayano as the younger Toguro and Kenichi Takito as the older Toguro. Yung maliit, yung payat, yung older Toguro. Si Kenichi Takito and Go Ayano as younger Toguro. If you look at Go Ayano, napakapayat ni Go Ayano.
Payat siya, oo.
I don't know how will he pull it off. Pero mukhang kaya naman niya.
Kasi siya yung sa Gatchaman eh. Yung Gatchaman na live action.
Diba? I don't know how he will pull it off as Toguro. Pero I hope he could. Kasi he's a very good character actor. And
siya din si Goemon sa Lupin the Third na live action.
And another thing pa pala, isa siya sa mga dito. First time ko napanood si Go Ayano is in sa dito, Crows, yung delinquent Japanese delinquent movie na kasama niya ata doon si Shun Oguri. Saka si sino pa bang isang sikat na Yamada yung Hiroyuki Yamada, yun. So, yun. So, yeah. So, I'm praying and hoping that the series would be successful and would be like as successful as One Piece live action.
Sana hindi siya isang season lang kasi
Mm.
gusto ko sana yung multiple saga or yung multiple chapters ma-adapt sana. Hindi lang pang isang season.
Lalong-lalo na yung dito yung Dark Tournament arc, which is one of the most exciting arcs of YuYu Hakusho, diba? And speaking of other live actions, are you a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Nanood ako before pero hindi masyadong religiously, pero gusto ko yung Avatar. So yun nga, may palabas na rin.
Oh yeah, palabas
sa
na
Netflix. Hindi ko pa napapanood yung trailer. Pero nakita ko na.
By next year, bale siya ipapalabas. So, hopefully, ako, personally, medyo impressed ako sa casting nung Avatar, excuse me, Avatar: The Last Airbender, no? So, parang promising yung casting, and yung si Uncle Iroh yung gumanap na yung captain yung captain ng isang X-wing or yung isa sa mga X-wing pilot sa The Mandalorian, si ano ba yun? Di ako familiar sa name ng artist na yan, pero andun siya sa Kim's Convenience Store. Si Uncle something basta yun. Siya yung gumanap na Uncle Iroh, which is a good fit to the to the casting. Ayun lang yung the casting was good. I-compare natin dun sa M. Night Shyamalan na
adaptation, which is very very dark, na halos ka-level niya yung darkness ni Zack Snyder sa DCEU.
Hindi lang yun, napaka-fail nung hindi naman sa cinematography, yung pagkakakwento nung yung pagkaka-adapt din nung story ng The Last Airbender, the anime cartoon. I don't know if we could consider it as anime kasi somehow it looks anime, pero pa rin, cartoon pa rin siyang masasabi. I don't know, yun lang kasi we can mayroon distinction pa rin with cartoons and anime, 'di ba? Sa a lot of people have this distinction for anime and cartoons. Well, anime kasi is made in Japan. Whereas cartoons are Western. So, sige, sabihin na lang natin cartoon siya. Pero it looks like anime pa rin. Pero yun nga, mas maganda pa rin yung story nung cartoon compared to sa movie adaptation na ginawa ni M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know why did he... a lot of fans were mad at M. Night Shyamalan because of what he did to the franchise. Well, hopefully this live action of the Last Airbender would be taken care of and maging maayos yung adaptation nga, yun nga. And I think what they did with One Piece live action, it's a hit dahil they were the executive producers were able to communicate with the Eiichiro Oda, kasi talagang hands-on si Eiichiro Oda doon and hopefully those two franchises na sinabi natin would be faithful to the, if not that faithful, would capture the essence of those yung mga IPs or intellectual properties. So yun. And other news pa pala, no? So, have you heard about yung Manipopcon? Yung Manila Pop Convention?
Nakikita ko sa newsfeed ko.
Yeah. So, it will be, by, ata? December ba? Tama ba? December ba siya?
Hindi, Super Manila yata yung
Super
December.
Manila yun sa December. So, search ko muna. Manipopcon. Actually, yung Manipopcon is a, geek convention done by Geeks for Geeks. Wow. Hopefully, mapuntahan natin yun. November 17 to 19, which is this week. This week na.
Ako ngayon ko pala sinasabi ko na fully book lahat ng weekend ko hanggang matapos ang taon. So, wala na akong convention for now.
Wag muna. Pero, yun nga, dito, hindi, yun nga, they have this event invited a lot of big names. Say, for example, ang unang name na makikita natin dito is yung, Errata Mackenyu of Rurouni Kenshin live action and One Piece live action.
Zoro.
As Ronorowa Zoro. And they also invited Diana Lee Inosanto, the actress of Morgan Elsbeth in The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. And lastly si ang pangalan ng isa? Ayun. Emily Swallow, the actress of the Armorer sa The Mandalorian. But
hindi ako sure kung tuloy kasi parang nabasa ko kanina na
hindi nga daw tuloy si Emily Swallow sa si Diana Lee Inosanto dahil because of unforeseen developments or other things na unforeseen events or something na hindi nila basta very unfortunate, and both Emily and Diana were looking forward to attending the Manipopcon 2023. Pero yun, sayang. Well, teka lang, nag-join na pala yung ating guest. So, yun. So we will jump right into the interview of our guest. So, yun. Ito na. And hi guys, so for this episode, we have a guest from Japan, imported natin from Japan. So, ipakilala ko muna kung ano yung background niya, kung bakit natin siya kinuha na guest, no? So, first and foremost, she's a PhD candidate in the Graduate School of Humanities in Nagoya University in Japan. And she also graduated in Nagoya University with a degree of Master in Arts in Linguistics and Cultural Studies in 2021. Yeah. And kanyang topic about for her master thesis is stories within stories of how Ghost of Tsushima uses side quests to enhance the understanding of historical and socio-cultural representation. So, wow. So, with that title pa lang, medyo may na tayo. Na background na tayo kung ano yung pag-uusapan natin. And then, she also studied BA in Japan Asia Cultural Studies also in Nagoya University. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, she graduated Master in Fine Arts in Creative Writing, tama ba? 2014. So sa LaSalle University, and for her bachelor's degree, she graduated BA in Mass Communication at St. Paul's University in Iloilo. So bigatin yung guest natin, ang daming credentials and bigat. So, and she also does streaming then on Twitch. Yeah. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the Sidequesting Scholar, Mitsu Abela. Yun.
Hello.
So, Meets, how are you? How's Japan?
Oh, it's great. I've been great right now, and
Mm.
it's getting colder now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, sige. Uh, bi- before tanungin ka namin with some questions, no? So, how warm up questions muna. So,
Sige, sige.
paano ka pala uh with what started ano yung mas nauna, yung pagka hilig mo sa games or yung pagka hilig mo sa pagsusulat?
I would say, oh, okay. Historically speaking, if I look back in my history, I would say
Mm.
it kind of started at the same time.
Mm.
Kasi kasi only child ako. So I used to play games as a way to pass the time. And because of that, I got, especially because I'm more into RPGs. So, I
Mm.
like the stories. And so I end up, okay, what if I want to write my own stories? So
Mm.
so pretty much the same siya when it started. Pero academically speaking, mas nauna yung writing. Kasi hindi naman available yung game studies sa Pilipinas.
Oh, yun.
Diba?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And yun. And in relation to that, syempre, sisegue ko na rin doon sa topic natin.
Okay.
Okay. So, how being a geek could lead you to somewhere to your ideal career path
Career.
kumbaga.
Oo.
So,
Ah,
so Mitch,
yeah.
I think is this your ideal career path na ba masasabi natin, or is this a step to your ideal career path?
Like, I would say, kasi the way I see it right now, medyo nasa forked road ako.
Mhm.
Either I can really proceed to academia,
Mhm.
or I can hopefully improve my Japanese enough to apply for a position in a game studio,
Oh,
diba?
nice.
But yeah, so in terms of my geekiness or my passion, my hobby, I would say that relevant siya sa career path ko. Kasi talagang, especially kapag nasa PhD ka, you would want something that you're passionate and you love so that you can, survive all the way. Sabi nila.
Yeah, that's
Parang,
true.
in other words, okay lang na mag-suffer basta gusto ko yung ginagawa ko. Parang ganun na style.
Yeah. So, Migs, ikaw may what's your question with our guest? To our
Ang
guest.
sa akin curious ako kasi nabanggit yung yung love mo for writing and eventually yung naging career path mo. Kasi ako, I read a lot of comic books. I'm a big comic book fan and ayun, before nung mga younger days ko, pinapangarap kong maging comic book writer. Sabi ko nga sa sarili ko, gusto kong maging comic writer or successful comic book writer by the age of 27. So, lumipas na on, nagpas na yun, hindi nagkatotoo. So, gusto kong malaman ano yung mga nasulat mo na and paano ba or ayun, paano nagsimula yung yung writing career mo?
Okay. So technically, sa writing career, I'm not sure if you'd even call it career. Would you consider like self-publishing as a career?
Yes, it's a
Yes!
self-publishing. Di ba nga yung mga tarito, may mga
indie books ng
yes,
Yung mga
comics.
indie books na, no?
And then yung mga tarito, some manga artists started as independent artist, di ba?
Yeah, especially like doujins.
Yes,
Doujins,
yes.
So, yeah, I guess I started all the way back in high school. Kasi, beginning high school, around grade 6, first year high school, around that time. Kasi, yun nga, talagang very heavy na yung PlayStation era ng mga RPGs. So, parang very active na yung brain ko. And at the same time, I used games as a way to complement studying, especially the language, like English language. So that's one reason. Pero at that time, hindi ko kasi iniisip na, I'm studying the game for the language purpose. It's more like for the fantasy, like the idea that, I can have my own world kasi nga medyo nag-iisa ako sa bahay. Pero, I think the first time I did the self-publishing, kasi I finished the story, my first book, I finished it second year high school. Pero, I only got to self-publish around siguro college na. Nasa Iloilo ako. My first college nasa Iloilo. So, at that time, hindi pa kasi uso yung mga self-publication time. Yung mga self-publications at that time was more of yung mga manuals.
Yes.
Yung mga nagbibigay ng mga like mga step 2 guides, mga ganyan. So even it was called Central Books. It was the first time they realized nga, ay, pwede palang fiction or stories. And after that, siyempre nasa mass communication. So medyo along the realm pa rin of writing fiction and non-fiction, na creative writing. So doon. Tapos dito, like even right now, I use creative writing as a way to, I guess, distress. If you guys know Archive of Our Own, it's more of the fandom work siya, fan works. So right now I'm actually an active moderator for one of the Final Fantasy 16 like fandoms.
Oh.
So what we do is we actually have active workshops for writing. But those are fan works. And also kind of a bit of my research na rin on how fans affect, games, and games affects fan behavior. Pero lately wala pa ako masyadong self-publication lately. Pero what I can say is I don't think there's an age limit. Like, like even back then I also wish like, oh wait, I wanted to be the youngest novelist or something like that. And then it's like, no, I don't think that can happen. But that doesn't mean that you should stop. No. So yeah, I think the world is your oyster, kumbaga.
Yeah.
So it's really how you plant your seeds, and then and doon na. Yeah.
So hindi pa late, it's not too late para maging Makoto Shinkai of Filipino comics.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's never too late. I mean, the siguro pinakasikat na example palagi is like J.K. Rowling. She was already a mother at that time, and she was also doing her novels, yung Harry Potter, as a way to distress. So who knows? It could be today, it could be tomorrow. So I don't think anyone should just stop just because of their age.
So, my question naman is this, no? So, ano yung unang RPG game na nilaro mo?
Oh, wow.
That really started the fire in you.
And this one is actually, I think this is undermined by a lot. Pero I think in Philippines it is known. Suikoden 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is funny because in the Philippines a lot of people know about this, but
yes,
people in the West they don't, not a lot. So yeah, it's Suikoden 2, and that and Xenogears.
Xenogears, yeah.
Yeah. So yun, people would ask me like, oh, why not Final Fantasy 7? I'm like, yeah, I also want to say Final Fantasy 7, pero na-corrupted yung disc 2 ko, kaya hindi ako nakapag-proceed.
Sayang yun.
It's always that thing, right?
May remake na naman di ba?
Meron na rin siya sa Switch. As in, kasama niya pa yung FF8.
Yeah, you can collect all of the Final Fantasy series now and on the remakes and the remaster. So, but yeah, it's pretty much Xenogears and Suikoden 2, pretty much because of the story. I would say even like for me, the GOAT of JRPG is Suikoden 2 and Xenogears. Pero especially kasi medyo bata pa ako at that time, medyo in the ear and out the ear yung philosophy ng Xenogears. But if you play it again and again, you'll realize very high intellectual yung si Takahashi, yung creator nun.
So, napaka-interesting na you mentioned about the mythos, the myths, and the world building din dun sa mga sa mga games na nilaro mo, no? So, ang naiisip ko lang is it really a factor that you play these games for the sake of the world building and how immersive it is?
I would say if it's RPG genre, it's a big factor because RPG thrives in the fact that you take in a role in a certain game and you live whatever fantasy or whatever world that you are stepping into. So if the world building is really good in that game, then you will have a sense of like parang may suspension of disbelief na okay, I can believe that it's very immersive. But like games like simulations and arcade games, like you don't need to have super big mythos to understand that Tekken is really great. Tekken is great because of the mechanics, because of the enjoyment, the thrill. So yes, I would say if it's RPG, then it's very important. And actually, that is why there are games called the RPG Maker, wherein the game gives you the ability to create your own RPGs. And what I guess most of the players of this type of game is, what they look forward to is creating the kind of stories and kinds of worlds that they want to show. And it's not just in video games. You can trace this back to the history of RPG, which is like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So, you know, it goes all the way back. Yeah.
So, Mix, ikaw, any follow-up questions?
For me, with regards na related siya sa RPG din. So, since ano yung mga current favorites mo na RPG ngayon?
Most recent, I would say. Okay, sige. Per console. Per console ba yan?
Pwede.
Sige, sa Switch, Fire Emblem, Three Houses, and Xenogears. Xenoblade Chronicles, yung trilogy na yon. Pero ang pinaka the best for me is yung part 3 ng game na yon. And then right now, medyo na-addict ako sa Final Fantasy 14 kasi it's an online game, di ba? Which, by the way, is for free until level 70 for 2 expansions. And then if you want to continue with the different expansions, that's when you pay at the moment. So you can play it. But it's a really good example of world building and immersion for the player. Because even if you start from scratch, like they would say, like, you're a blank canvas, you create your own character. Pero even if that's the case, you feel part of the story kasi ini-engage ka talaga ng game na to. And of course, there's also Final Fantasy 16, which, by the way, is the reason why I bought the PS5. Like, wala akong plan na mag-buy ng PS5, Like, wala akong plan kasi sabi ko, I'll save money kasi, maraming research trips, mga ganyan. Yeah. And already, the game already released. Like, I think it released already 2 weeks. And then, nanonood lang ako. I just watch walkthroughs and I just watch, the cinematics. Siguro after the 4th time, sabi ko, no, I really need to play this. Kasi, and that's how I can say na maganda yung game for me.
Yes.
Kasi even if I know the story, parang I still want to play it. Yan.
Kala ko for research purposes yung pagbili mo ng PS5
Okay, so after nabili yon, and then I got my meeting with my professor, pinitch ko talaga. So ngayon, part na siya sa research ko.
Sulit naman.
So, yun. Diba? At least, diba, you utilize the PS5 for your research purposes and experience.
Yeah.
Magsilbi yun. Anyway, related to that, no? So, you said RPG and how, sige, kung gagawin nating RPG yung buhay mo, paano nagsimula si Mitz until she reached her current level?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, we'll try to avoid the cliches or the trappings of JRPGs. Like I have a good family, I don't live in a small village that's being attacked by monsters. However, I would say the closest siguro would be if you know the Atelier series.
Not that
familiar. So basically, I would categorize the Atelier series as the character is already part of society that they live in, and then they grow with the society. People might say, parang slice of life yan. Pero hindi kasi meron pa rin mga monsters you still have to fight. So I would say, ganyan kasi growing up, hindi naman talaga kasi ako mahilig sa academics.
Wow.
Like, I'd rather play. I'm more of a sporty person. It just so happens that I also play video games kasi single child ako. So, if I'm not, kasi I only play sports sa school, And when I'm home, what will I do? So I play or I read. So that would be like my level 1 to 10
Mm.
journey. Nasa bahay, nag-tutorial. Nasa tutorial phase pa lang tayo. And then, later on, you go to a different city, which is Iloilo. That was my first expansion ko, kumbaga.
Oh, wow.
Nasa Iloilo na ako. And the thing is, mas ako pa yung adventurous at that time. Yung parents ko ayaw. Kasi nga, only child, tapos babae pa. So, parang masyadong malayo, even though we're just like neighbors lang yung Rojas tsaka Iloilo City.
Mm.
So, doon ko naman na-experience, how to live on my own in a way, even though if I live in a dorm. Pero, it's because of my experience of Iloilo that I realized na, hey, what if I want to study in Japan?
Mm.
Kasi gusto kong, culture, history. And at that time, I'm already looking at more of medieval history. Yun talagang gusto ko.
Mm.
Pero na sidetrack tayo kasi may time pa ako na mag-study sa Lasal, which was actually very accidental pa. Kasi I think I was looking for a way na, okay, what if I find work at home? But then may class reunion day, mom, and then one of our classmates actually is nasa Manila and then said, oh, na may may entrance exam yung Lasal, baka gusto mo. So yun, nag-pass lang ako ng entrance exam and then lo and behold, nakapasa nga. And it's actually in Lasal, which I guess we can say it's my second expansion, na doon ko na-meet actually yung professor from Ritsumeikan. Kasi nag-visit siya just kasi kumuha ko ng course sa international studies and he was a visiting professor and he talked about Ritsumeikan and how life is there, pero more on politics and securities kasi yung kanyang mga topics. Pero he gave me the idea na may G30 program yung Japan, which is yung they bring in international students to study in state universities. And from there doon lang ako nag-research na, okay, what if I want to apply for this? So actually, my family did not know na nag-a-apply ako. Like, secretly lang ako nag-a-apply kasi ayokong mag-promise sa kanila na hindi pa natupad. So it was only when I got the result na, admitted na ka pala. Doon ko palang sinabi sa kanila, by the way, nag-apply ako, tapos ito na yung result.
Surprise!
Surprise! Yes. Parang ganun talaga. Surprise. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, I guess the latest expansion is going to Japan.
Yes. So, what made you pala attracted with Japan and to study there?
Okay, like brutally honest, scholarship.
Yeah, true.
True. Yeah, kasi kapag walang scholarship, wala naman eh. Pero why Japan and why not other countries? I think it's inexplicable, pero talagang may draw factor yung Japan sa akin. And it's not anime and manga kasi people say it's pop culture, no. For me, talagang it's actually medieval Japan history, Sengoku Jidai to be precise. And that's why when I arrived in Japan, hindi ako na-disillusioned ng, it's not as colorful as you see in manga or in anime. Kasi alam ko naman na it's not like that. What I was actually looking forward to are the different temples, the different castles, and the different shrines. Kasi yun yung punteriya ko talaga ever since. And more of historical takes.
Yun. So, marami rin talaga tayong mga sabihin natin mga Japanese co-scholars, kumbaga na they were a bit disillusioned and homesick after, di ba, tumira sila sa Japan for at least a year or two, di ba, na parang nadi-disillusion sila bigla na hindi pala ganito yung in-envision ko sa Japan, di ba? So, pero at least that they more than after that mas na-appreciate pa nila yung pagstay sa Japan because it's more than what they have expected, kumbaga.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yan. Migs, your next question.
For me, the next question is, for example, kunyari, ano yung mabibigay mong recommendation sa mga gamer na beginner lang sa RPG genre? ano yung maganda nilang pag-invest or bigyan ng investment or mag-start as a gamer ng RPG.
Okay. Wow. Okay, let's consider with the more recent generation, I guess, consoles.
Mm.
I would say, ano ba yan? Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's Switch exclusive, but it's great. It's actually a SRPG or strategy RPG, pero it can be both beginner friendly and even for hardcore players for strategy games. The story is also very very good. A lot of people say na ay sayang, talagang dapat game of the year yan. But and you can actually see because even though it wasn't nominated for the game of the year of that year, pero sa category na Players Voice Award, it actually won. It even beat out its votes was twice the amount for Death Stranding. So just imagine, it's twice the amount of Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Yeah. Kasing the same year sila lumabas eh. What else? And also I would say, like, I don't want to say Final Fantasy, okay? Because people know Final Fantasy. And that's actually a problem right now is because people have their vision of what Final Fantasy is, so sometimes changing the genre could be like bad for the fandom. So instead of saying Final Fantasy, I would say the Tales of series. Yung mga Tales of Berseria, Tales of Arise. If you're in GameCube, there's Symphonia. So it's also a long-going series, and of course, syempre, if you have access to it, Suikoden 2, which by the way will be remastered. Supposedly ngayon siya ma-release sa Switch, pero I think they had to push back, so next year.
Yung mga lumang games, yung mga classics, ang dali na siyang ma-access ngayon sa Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Kaya tempting siya bilhin, pero
yeah, and I think that's great because that's a good way to actually have as a beginner, and the reason for that is so that people can see the humble beginnings of RPG. Because if you only feed them titles that are modern day, what we consider as modern day games, iba yung pacing, kumbaga. They won't know the sacrifices of long leveling up, level grinding. And iba yung focus ngayon is more on story but interactivity. So iba yung genre, in other words, yung identity ng genre from back then and now.
Okay. So I just want to talk about more about yung topic mo dun sa master thesis. So, kasi interesting siya eh. And yeah, you have, Tarito, you said that you're more interested about medieval Japan, no? So, we can talk about medieval Japan all day, kumbaga. Pero, I just want to focus on yung sa Ghost of Tsushima and how were you able to come up with this kind of topic for your master's thesis?
Okay, so Ghost of Tsushima, the thesis, is actually an accident.
Ooh.
And it's an accident created by the COVID pandemic. Kasi I started 2019 October yung supposedly and supposedly my research topic is actually Azuchi Castle, which is the famous castle created parang pinagawa ni Oda Nobunaga, but it was burned down. That was my intent. Kaso lang,
yun yung castle na kung saan siya na kasabay na sunog, di ba?
No. That's Honoji.
Honoji pala, tama.
Yeah.
Honoji, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, after he died, then they decided we'll pretty much raise down all your legacy, kumbaga. And Azuchi Castle was the most beautiful castle, and they had to destroy it as part of their we're gonna kill you and stuff like that. But yes, that was 2019, and supposedly I would be starting my field work in Shiga Prefecture come 2020. Kaso lang, iba yung nangyari sa 2020.
Yes, pandemic happened.
Pandemic. And so, for one semester, wala akong topic. We were just trying to figure out, okay, so how do we, because we're still hopeful na, okay, it's just, it's not a big problem. Baka next month, pwede na tayong mag-travel ulit and we can see if we can get the field work doon. Pero, sabi ko, I already used up one semester na walang ginagawa. I need to do something. And timely kasi it's the same year na magre-release yung Ghost of Tsushima. So I said, what if I pull back by a few hundreds of years? So instead of Sengoku Jidai, it's Kamakura Jidai. And then, since the game is open world, but it talks about a specific historical event, dun tayo mag-focus. No longer architecture. We can still involve, maybe, you can do some architectural like research kasi nagawa yan with the Assassin's Creed series, but who knows what Ghost of Tsushima will offer. And because the game hasn't released yet, so I don't know yet what exactly to talk about it. So we pretty much gambled on it, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And then when the game released, and then I experienced playing it, that's when I realized, okay, so it's not so much of the architecture, it's actually more of the society and the culture. Pero it's an interesting take because the developers are Western developers. So how will they present something not basing, I mean, even people say it's accurate, but it's not really accurate. But how do they balance accuracy with immersion? And so I think that's my answer to that was side quest, actually.
So yun, interesting yung take mo doon, no? Kasi dito in a way, no, parang you're studying it as an Asian, or specifically a Filipino, studying about an Asian game that was made by Western people, and you're interested about yung kung ano yung perspective nila and take nila dun sa history, specific historical point in Japan, and then how they made it into a game.
Yeah.
So, and yan pala, no? So, nabanggit mo kanina yung parang game research ba yun? Or ano yung sinabi mo kanina about game creative something ba yun? With regards sa studies, game-related studies sa Philippines?
Yeah. So, sa Philippines, at least at that time, during my time, wala pang game-related studies. Pero I think the moment sabi ko sayang naman kasi I was already starting my undergraduate here. It was the first time I learned na merong connection yung Ubisoft Montreal with, I think, I'm not sure if it's LaSalle
or Benilde ata,
or Benilde, na parang may connection. It's not full-blown game studies yet, pero it could be like, like industry practices kaya or something like that. It wasn't even programming as well. Pero for me, it's a good start. Kasi actually, even around the world, there's no such thing as game studies. Because game studies is approachable interdisciplinarily. So it can be from media studies, it can be from psychiatric studies, and if you say naman, what about the programming? It's not called game studies, it's coding. Talagang game design programming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And dito, especially now, no, na it's na yung tinatawag nating esports, di ba? It's rising, parang ang taas na, and it's yung projection niya pataas pa rin, di ba? So I think it in no less than time mapapasama na siya sa Olympics diba?
Yeah.
So it's parang interesting yung topic mo kasi parang dito you catch the psychology of the players, and then, di ba? And then aside from that, you also explore about yung yung story building, world building ng mga which is aligned with your interests din, di ba? And I think the yung game related studies, yung one thing that I can say about it is that it could really revolutionize how we view games, how we create games, di ba? And parang we can use how can we use games, video games or online games for more for education, diba? And for other things that would benefit our society. So yun nga, I hope that yung studies na yun na you pursue would really develop into a fundamental body of science, kumbaga.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-mm. So, aside from ano no, dito, ang dami mo ng sige, let's talk about your experiences pala
Okay.
on how you communicate pala yung uh, ano pala parang yung reaction ng tao kapag kino-communicate mo yung ganitong uh, studies mo. How do they pick it up and ano parang anong nasasabi nila sa'yo?
Okay, this is a good question because I also have to explain to my family, right? Because iba yung standard of education na in-expect sa most Filipino families, di ba? So I can give you an anecdote, I guess. I visited home April of this year. Yes, April of this year. And so I got to talk with family members. My mom understands but she understands it as a humanities perspective. So, and she understands, the works of humanities, which is like very academia related. But I always tell her, like, if I have a chance, I really want to be part of a game company, especially nasa design, but nasa R&D ng design, ganon. But my uncles, I have to explain to them like what exactly. So I have to explain, especially more recently. So I told them I'm researching on player character roles in RPGs, like the shifting, and I'm trying to introduce a framework called how the player character is an outsider, but once you play the game, it's actually you creating a way to dissolve your outsider status. That's why you create the community. That's why you get immersed into the world. So the way I would say it is that this particular project that I'm doing is more of an industry related study towards game design, like how do game companies, specifically Japanese RPG, use the game as a way to send out a message. And they use the player character. When I say player character, it's your avatar. So it's the specific character that the player controls. How they use that to create the experience and for the player to experience whatever it is that they want you to experience. So whether they want you to experience the life of an outcast or a life of a character who is amnesiac and they have to find their identity, if it's about saving the world, if it's about creating a community. So that's one of the goals. And it's also one of the difference between what I would say Japanese RPGs and Western RPGs is because Japanese RPGs are very community centric. Like it's always about building, not really building, but finding a way to correct whatever is bad that's happening within the world or within the community. And that's where side quests come in, because you can experience in the side quests that even though sometimes they're very whimsical, sometimes they're very serious, but it's not a very selfish side quest. When I say not selfish, it's not just to get stats. It's not just to make your player stronger. Kumbaga, those are just accidental or collateral, ano na lang yun, surplus na lang yun na pangdagdag for the player. But what is the meat of this side quest is actually telling you the different issues of society, whether it's about isolation, whether it's about the treatment of death and destruction, or whether it's interpersonal relationship. So this is actually fundamental real world concerns that are actually embedded in RPGs. And that's why I try to approach from a humanities studies, or parang approach ko is very humanist approach, is because it's not just a game anymore. It's almost a simulation of a different life, which you can apply to life. Some scholars would even say that video games are refractions of society that we live in. So that's why it can be taken up as a text that we can also study. So parang the same lang siya as the way I explain is, why do people study the novel? Why do people study cinema? It's because they use it as a text to show whether it's a commentary of society, even if it's even if it's comedy, there is something there that they want to show and experience. And the advantage of video games actually is you're not just passive. You need to be an active player in order to receive the message. And by being active, you're actually living, like quote unquote living or experiencing it. So mas iba yung dating ng experience kaysa sa nanonood ka lang.
True. Parang you're being part of it, kumbaga. Yeah. Sige, Migs, question mo muna bago ako magtanong.
I think for me, this is yung when it comes to video game consoles, ano yung pinaka-go console mo except sa PS5 since bago pa lang siya.
Okay. I mean, like PS1? Lol. No. I would say kasi marami akong friends na nagsasabi na PC Master Race.
PC Master Race.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I would still say that, for me, the best way to experience a video game, at least for me personally, is a dedicated console. So even though PC Master Race has the best graphics and stuff like that, but it's not really a dedicated console unless you make it. And so I would say it's either the PS1 because it was revolutionary at that time, or actually three. Siguro PS1, Nintendo Switch, and 3DS.
Oh, hindi
So,
Nintendo 3DS.
Nintendo.
Yeah, even the 3DS. Kasi all of them are revolutionary. But in terms of RPG, actually yung pinakamalaking library for RPG is on 3DS. I think nasurpass niya yung library ng PS1. But at the same time, Switch is also very revolutionary kasi napakalaking ambag niya in society during the pandemic. It was a way for people to connect. And the games, because of the games, they can be remastered. You can say na, you can use it naman on PS5 or PS4 or Xbox. Yeah, but, can you bring your PS5 on the go? Well, what if I want to bring my RPG somewhere?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yung parang di ba, sumikat sa Switch, tama ba, yung Animal Crossing?
Yes, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, during the pandemic, tama.
Yeah, and I think it was actually during the pandemic wherein Animal Crossing was nominated for Game of the Year because of it. Kasi it left a big impact to the community. Well, not just the gaming community, but even regular people who just use the Switch and Animal Crossing as a way to communicate during the pandemic. So I think that's my answer. Thank you po.
Question lang muna. So, dito, kasi Biggs, di ba ikaw naglaro ka rin Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Nag-try pero hindi nag-prosper.
Yun lang kasi dito, my question is, ano yung difference ng isang ordinary RPG game sa isang other RPG games like yung Ragnarok? Yung parang may involvement na nung ibang other players besides you.
MMORPG.
Oh, yun.
Yeah,
MMORPG. Yes.
Okay, so I guess one of the biggest difference, and this is actually also part of my research, by the way, is the side quest. People did not know what a side quest was until MMORPGs came or they arrived, because the way you can progress with stories in MMORPGs is using the side quest. Side quests were very tied to the main story. In normal RPGs, it's just all story. It's only recently that people introduced, there's a side quest in our RPG, and that's because of the MMORPG. They realized that the game design for this way of creating a category of quests is very productive, and it enriches the player's game experience, and it makes the player want to play the game more.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things that it's different. And another one is obviously the component that you can play with other players. So by being community focused, MMORPGs provide a different experience on that front. But not all MMORPGs are the same. So I think one of the great debates right now is which is the best, WoW, World of Warcraft, or
Mm.
Final Fantasy 14. And the answer is they can be both, because and it's not about, oh, but this has more players, like, logins. And it doesn't matter, because it depends on the type of gameplay you want. If you want more raiding, if you want more, group activities, that, it's also about cosmetics, then yes, it's WoW. But the focus kasi of Final Fantasy 14 is more on story.
Mm.
So it really brought in the RPG and just decided, okay, let's make it into an MMO.
Mm.
So that's why it's a very different experience. And a lot of players, especially Western players, medyo naku-culture shock sila when they start playing that, because it's like, oh wow, it's like playing an RPG, and I'm like, yes, it is an RPG. Because it's like that. But the thing is, they made it accessible wherein you can play the game either as a solo player
Mm.
from the beginning to the most recent expansion, or you can play it with your friends. And that's one of the success of Final Fantasy 14, which recently, I think it was just last week, the developers of WoW
Mm.
made a parang BlizzardCon yata yon.
Mm.
They talked about it, and they're actually bringing in the idea of creating expanded stories. So now they're also taking out something from the book of, Final Fantasy 14.
Mm.
Kasi I think that's a very healthy way of growing the genre anyway,
Mm.
not simply fighting against the strengths of other titles, but seeing how you can innovate it, how you can grow.
And also develop communities din.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung important dun eh. Parang to have a following, you need to build a community for that specific game. And also no, parang feeling ko nun kapag naglalaro ka ng isang RPG game, you just follow a linear path.
Yeah.
Diba? Pero pag naglaro ka ng MMORPG, parang ang dami mong pwede puntahan. Parang
Oh, yeah.
pasikot-sikot.
Open world siya.
Open
oh.
world, oo.
Yeah.
Yun yung na-experience ko. So, ayan. Ikaw, Migs, may additional questions ka pa?
For me, I think I'm all good.
Ayun. Sige, grabe yung journey ni Mitz, no? So, na lang pala. I think, no, Mitz, ito, okay lang ba kung susunod mag-guest ka pa sa sa podcast, kasi ang dami nating pwede pag-usapan pala.
Oh yeah, sure.
Pero yeah, we just need to concentrate muna on yung journey mo, and then yung mga topics na na pag-usapan natin earlier, no? And then syempre more on you din, kasi dito extraordinary yung journey mo eh, from kasi yung you play games that you love and writing it, and then now you're making somehow a career, you building your career out of it.
May thesis,
diba?
may thesis pa.
May thesis
Ako,
pa,
sobrang sinusuka ko yung thesis ko dati, pero ayan, thesis
diba?
na may may
nag-e-enjoy
halo sa video game. Mag-e-enjoy ka talaga.
Nag-e-enjoy ka na, pero parang nahihirapan ka pang magsulat ng konti, saka maghanap ng literature, pero nag-e-enjoy ka kasi naglalaro ka.
Yeah. I actually have the hashtag whenever I stream. I have the hashtag play for research.
Yes. Yeah. So, interesting na talagang how did you rewired your thinking for studying, and then you build your research, kumbaga yung research, academic reputation mo to games. So I think it's a unique siya talaga, and then somehow it would really build your somehow dito yung ano ba sinasabi natin sa novelty, yon.
Yeah.
Novelty in the field of science, humanities research, kumbaga. So, sige, sabihin na lang na what can you say pala to the people who are like us, geeks na who are as passionate as playing these games or other things that they pursue, and they want to uh, continue on with their passion and end up somewhere that they wanted to, or accidentally they wanted to.
Hmm. I guess my very short message for that one is like don't don't let anyone say it's just games, because it's never just games.
True. It's not just anime or comics or
Yeah.
whatever hobbies na sinasabi ng tao na ano, parang wala lang yan, parang pambata lang yan. No.
Oo. We
Yeah.
take them seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it from a different perspective. Like they say, oh, wala ka nang magagawa, wala kang makukuha diyan. Pero if you think about it from a very economics perspective, like kung wala kang magagawa diyan, what about people earning money by creating all this merchandise? Diba? And that we're collecting. So there has to be something. And for people from the academia, it's like, oh, but that's not real serious things to study. But then it creates an effect in society. You can see social phenomena, like the rise of esports in the Philippines. This may seem like games to you, but it's affecting society in a different level. So there's a humanistic, phenomenon happening there. And I guess also, especially with academia right now, even general education, they introduce gamification or using games as a way to supplement, because iba na yung what do you call this? Iba na yung atmosphere.
And
Is it the correct word mo? Iba na yung atmosphere ng isang classroom right now, because kids do not have the same attention span. I'm not saying that they don't have the same. I'm not saying that wala silang a focus, pero iba na kasi yung world na ginagalawan nila. We are living in a very media saturated world. We have so many games in our phones. People or kids expect certain things that they do outside the classroom that enable them to be passionate about. So if we can bring that in the classroom, then they can also be passionate about studies in a different way. So if you can tell them, hey, think about it as if you're leveling up or you're grinding your levels here. Nagbabatak ka sa classroom.
Yes. And would you advise then people to study in Japan then?
Oh yes, definitely. Actually, not just Japan, but it's something I actually tell my family as well. There's a difference between studying in the Philippines, which is good. It's okay. But it could be like even summer class, or just experience something outside that is not vacation. Kasi iba yung, oh, I'll go abroad, I've been abroad, but you did it as a vacation. Iba yung perspective mo. But if you go there for maybe pursuing education or even career, you will see na iba yung experience talaga.
True.
And in terms of education, I can say that studying in Japan has made me appreciate my education in the Philippines as well. Kasi on the one hand, it felt like, ay, ang ganda pala ng educational system sa Philippines kasi hindi tayo spoon-fed. Sometimes sa Japan, medyo spoon-fed. But at the same time, there are different perspectives that is available by studying in a very international setting that you will not have if you're just in the Philippines.
So, yun. Thank you, Miss. Siguro invite mo rin sila about G30.
Oh, yes! So G30 program is an international program for, students, not only undergrad, also masters and PhD. And it's not just Nagoya University, by the way. It's there are 30 state universities in Japan that has this program, and they have different departments. You have humanities, engineering, in other words, specialized areas. And you can apply for it actually starting November this month.
Wow.
Yeah, so November, December is the application period. So just go to the website of your preferred university, and then you can see the G30 admission page. And siguro different universities will have different deadlines and requirements. But I think with the Philippines current educational system, especially the K-12, it would be a no problem. In my case, I had to go through college because kulang tayo sa years of studies, di ba?
Mm.
Pero right now, I think directly from high school, if you finish like senior
Yes.
high, you can already apply.
Yeah, sa mga age natin na
Yeah.
pre-K to 12.
So,
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, please apply, and just hope and pray that you'll be accepted. I'm sure you will. Show them na matalino tayong mga Pinoy.
Yun. And also, di ba, G30 classes are offered in English. Tama ba? Or no?
Yes.
Mm.
So G30 is it's an international program, so the degree is taught in English. But if you have Japanese proficiency, you can take up Japanese classes if you want. And at the same time, also the entire first year, you will actually be given Japanese classes as well for language learning.
Oh, yun. So, yun. Thank you, Mitz, for guesting and for sharing your passion for RPG, gaming in general, and your research body of work. Thank you. We have nagkaroon tayo ng reputable guest. Hindi naman sinasabi natin yung ibang guest natin hindi reputable. No, one of our reputable guests.
yes. And hindi lang puro hobbies yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon. Napaka-educational din itong episode na to.
Totoo. Feeling ko parang Christianes Guerra na yung levels natin dito.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yun. So, with that, no, Mitz, mag-shoutout ka pala. Shoutout. Yun, bago tayo magtapos, shoutout ka muna.
Oh wow, this is the first time. Shoutout dyan sa lahat ng mga kapamilya ko. If you're watching this again, I will make them watch this. So, shoutout to my family. I love you guys. And I'll see you soon, maybe. And also shoutout to all of my kababayan and my fellow, Filipino students like Jomar, who used to be part in Nagoya University. And
shoutout din sa mga kakakilala natin.
Definitely.
Nagoya alumni. Nagoya University
shout out to alumni. Yes. And I guess shout out to my guild in Final Fantasy 14. Baka nandyan kayo nanonood.
Yes. Okay, sige Migs, shout out mo naman.
For me, shout out sa mga sa mga viewers or listeners natin. So medyo naging slow lang yung mga nakaraang buwan, pero we're still here. Continuously, every month nakakapag-deliver kami kahit wala na yung mga short episodes or mga short videos, andito pa din. So looking forward sa next episode, which will be our Christmas episode sa December.
Yun, so hopefully makapag-recommend kaya tayo ng mga gifts or whatever, and let's talk about it susunod. Yun. Syempre yun, for me, shout out again to my wife, to my family, who are ever supported. Please, guys, paabutin nyo na kami ng 100 subscribers.
Yes.
92 subscribers pala. We will keep on making episodes for you. Bago ko makalimutan ulit, shoutout ulit to my college friends. Syempre yung mga common friends namin ni Mitsu, mga kapwa Nagoya University alumni and students. Yan. So if you're a Nagoya University student right now, hopefully you're watching this. You're watching your senpais doing this kind of stuff. Yan. And syempre, to our listeners and viewers na rin, no? So, thank you very much for sticking with us for all these years, and hopefully you're still listening to our listening and watching our videos, listening through your preferred podcast providers. Ayun. So, and with that, no, we invite you again to like this video, comment on the comment section, and syempre subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ghost of Tsushima tuloy sabi ko. Geeks Outta Nowhere, yon. And also we are also available on Spotify and your other podcast providers. We also have syempre social media. We have Facebook, wala kaming Twitter or X, but we have Instagram and TikTok and syempre yung Threads. Yan. So, yun, meets pala, no? How can they reach you pala? You have socials. Yung pala, pati yung ano mo, Twitch channel mo pala. Yun.
Yeah. So,
Before
I
that,
guess for my Twitch channel, it's twitch.com/Mitsu_Hachimitsu. And then socials, I have Twitter X. Sorry, it's at Abela Mitsu, and I think that's about it because I have Instagram. I just forgot what my username there is. But Twitch and Twitter is a lot easier, I guess, nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, follow Mitsu, reach her through her socials if you want to make collab with her, diba? Through games. She's very much available. Basta hindi maka-interrupt sa mga ano niya, conferences and reports.
So true.
Yun. Ayan. And with that, we end our episode for this month. Again, thank you to our guest, Meets.
Thank you.
Thank you
Meets.
so much.
Ayan. So, yun, final request lang, sabayan mo kami dito, no?
Okay.
So, sa last greeting namin, no? So, yun lang. Again, and again, no? We end our episode for this month. My name is Jomar.
My name is Nigs.
And together with Mitsu Abela, we are 1, 2, 3
Geeks
Outta
Outta
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yay. Thank you, Mitz.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you.
Take care.
Take care, Mitz. Susunod
Yeah,
Sabihan ka
definitely.
namin.